nice and chilly. Woo! Nice and chilly. An early 5:20-ish in the morning. Oh man, it's a good time. It is a good time. We got back today. It's time, man. It's time to hit this pull day. I usually do back first, starting with those vertical pulls. Try to get the lats wide, super wide. And then I try to get some thickness, do some horizontal rows. Then I do some biceps. Here we go. That'll be the lift for today. A thought for this morning, very small, insignificant, some nobody ever thinks about, for sure. Measuring your potential. Does it matter? Does it matter how much, how big, how well you're going to ever be able to do something, right? That's something to think about. Does it actually matter? And of course, in some ways, if you're trying to, compete against other people, of course it kind of matters how big you eventually are, right? Or how good at something you eventually are. But in bodybuilding terms, it's how big you are, how well proportioned you are, right? How good at posing you are, that sort of thing. How shredded you are. But in things, especially in things that you're not competing, but you're still trying to get as good as you can, right? Right? What does it actually matter what your potential is? If you're going to the gym, let's say this. You're going to the gym. You have just started. You're in your, last part of the year. You're like, okay, this January, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get big, get shredded, get strong. But then you think about it more, and you're like, wait a minute. I've been skinny fat my whole life. Oh, man. That probably means that I have bad genetics. Might as well not go. Can you see the... I want to say fallacy, but it might be a fallacy. Can you see the logical failure that has happened in that? Oh, man, I bet I don't even have good genetics. I bet I can't even get that good, right? Imagine if a world-class athlete, a future world-class athlete, and I'm sure that there have been some, I can't name any, because I don't know very many world-class athletes' stories, but I'm sure there's been some that as kids, they were like playing video games, doing whatever. And then all of a sudden, one day, they were like, I want to play basketball. And this might be a super little kid, might be a little bit older. Or one day they're like, oh, I want to be a ski jumper. Whatever, man. Imagine if they would have just gone, man, but I bet I can't even get that good, Dang. Might as well not try. You can't be doing that to yourself. You cannot be, what's the word? What's the word for the thing that puts out the fire on a candle that you put over the candle and it snuffs it out? Candle snuffer. Don't be your own candle snuffer. Don't do that. You can't be doing that. Don't do it for yourself, and try not to do it for other people, man. That just puts yourself down. But anyway, we're here, so let's get this back day done. Get it absolutely pulled out of the air. Let's just materialize this back day. Slam it. See you guys after. The lift went well. It was a good back day. Back in biceps. Pull in another way to say it, So now that you've figured out that you can't, put a little dampener on your spirit, on your forward thinking, forward growth, right? You can't dampen that. How do you get there? How do you get to the point where you want to be? How do you get to the point where you feel that you have made progress? A lot of people don't see the progress that they have made just because they don't track it, right? They already have this negative outlook on the world, on themselves usually. They already have this negative outlook. So any progress that they make just looks insignificant. And how do you get around that? How do you convince your brain that what you're doing is not insignificant? What you're doing is not for no reason. One way is just by tracking it, man. You have to track if you're trying to lose weight. You have to pull your emotions away from what you're doing, losing weight, and start looking at the weight loss with an eye of progress. Like, what direction are you moving, right? And honestly, like, moving fast in any direction is fun. It's fun to move fast. But it's specifically with, like, losing weight and other body stuff, like growing muscle, you kind of have to move a little bit slow, and you have to expect it to move slow. It's like if you want to get really big and buff, and so you just start eating a bunch of junk food, and all of a sudden you're like 220 pounds, super fat. You know what I mean? You can't move super quickly with especially gym-related, losing weight, things like that. You just have to temper your expectations and track it, man. That's why I weigh myself every day, okay? And some days I go up like 2 pounds. I come down like 2 pounds, right? A lot of that is water weight, and some of that is the scale isn't, perfectly scientifically accurate, right? But I track that every day, and I don't look at the everyday fluctuation, okay? And you can't really look at your everyday fluctuation in anything, because one day you'll get to, let's say 100% of what you could have done that day. And it's because you were feeling good. You were feeling great. You did exactly what you wanted to do. Everything went your way. And then the next day, you only get 50%. And if you look at it just on its face, what you're going to see is, oh man, I got so good and so much at this one time. But then I went down so much. What happened? You can't be thinking about the micro of your situation. You have to think the macro, the big picture. Are you trending in the right direction? Right? Are you trending downwards with the weight loss journey? Are you trending to be looking more freaky on a cut, when you're trying to get shredded? Are you trending in that direction? And the more accurate to truth that you can be, the more real results you'll get. That's one thing that I think a lot of people struggle with, is being absolutely truthful with themselves and respecting what is actually happening, instead of just being like, oh, well, this is the reason, and you know, it just must be my genetics. It just must be harder for me. I don't know, man. It's just so difficult for me, but all these other people, they're so much better than me. Sorry about that. But they're just so much better than me. I just don't know how to do it. They're not better than you in this way. They're better than you because they have more experience, yes. They're better than you at this thing. But when they had as much experience as you have, and as much knowledge as you have, I don't think they would be better. At least very much better. There might be slight genetic differences and slight skill differences, but I'm sure they were relatively close to where you are. You have to think like this. If what I'm doing isn't working, then it's on me. You have to think like that. You can't say, if what I'm doing isn't working, it's because of other people. That's a loser's mindset. That will condition you to be in a situation that you lose every single time. What you have to do, even if it is other people's fault, what you have to do is, if you take it on yourself, you will win. You might not win in other people's eyes. You will win in your own eyes, and you will win in the truth's eyes. You know what I mean? So there you go. Just get it done, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, you know, all the YouTube buzzwords. You know how it is. See you guys later.